Today I want to tell you about several incidents that resulted in American Marines taking Japanese prisoners much less frequently. Some of these cases even made it into the memory of American military personnel so that they would always be on guard. In general, the Japanese really used various tricks, starting with simple things like false attacks and ending with shouting like roosters or hyenas at night, to give conditional signals as well as hitting bamboo, imitating gunfire. But what Americans really disliked about Japanese soldiers was their practice of continuing to fight even after surrendering. Situations where the Japanese raised a white flag and then blew up relaxed Americans occurred repeatedly. One of the most telling and earliest examples was the so-called Gyochi Patrol in August of 1942. During the battle for Guadalcanal, a Japanese lieutenant told the Americans that Japanese soldiers were ready to surrender, and an American patrol landed on the riverbank. Naturally, the Japanese had no intention of surrendering. Out of 25 Americans, only a few survived, who told of a terrible scene, how the Japanese mutilated the bodies of the dead and mocked the wounded. It was a very sobering experience for American soldiers. It was a common practice for the Japanese to surrender and then, as the Americans approached, throw grenades at them or commit suicide bombings. Some Japanese even spoke English, luring their opponents closer. Some Japanese soldiers pretended to be dead and then, when Americans passed by, shot them in the back or threw grenades. The Japanese also called for a medic in English, dressed in English or American uniforms, which added to the confusion. Samuel Morrison in his book tells that such incidents happened repeatedly. An example is given when a wounded Japanese soldier on Guadalcanal grabbed a scalpel and stabbed a surgeon in the back who was trying to operate on him and save him. Or when a survivor in a naval battle on one of the islands grabbed a weapon and killed a sailor who was handing him a cup of coffee. All these cases naturally irritated and embittered the Americans. As a result, Marines finished off wounded soldiers and also shot those who were already dead or pretending to be dead. Groups of Japanese soldiers who wanted to surrender were particularly suspicious. As they say, there was no time for nobility here.